Alright, we're back. Second segment, what I've been reading in comic book land. So, I'm going to omit all the okay, so basically, I'm doing this like a week after I just did a comic book vlog video. So, any of the books I talked about in that video, I'm just not going to talk about. So, I just updated that video in the description with like the books I talked about in it, because for some reason I didn't have it in there. That's my bad. So going forward, I'll put that in there. But like in the last video of that, which was last week, I talked about Guardians of the Galaxy #1. I briefly mentioned Age of Ultron, Uncanny Avengers #5, Uncanny X-Force #3, Wolverine and the X-Men #27, and the Thunderbolts, which I really need to reread because it's kind of hard to keep up with that book. It's okay. It's not bad. It's just not as good as everything else I'm reading. It's kind of at the bottom of my stack every week. It's like everything else is so much better. I'm just reading it because of the team dynamic of like the characters on that team. So it's like if they weren't there, I wouldn't be reading that. So, but those 6 I'm not going to talk about since I talked about them in that video, and I'll just put an annotation like right here at the first however many seconds of this one, in case you haven't checked it out, so you can go and check it out over there. Yeah. Oh, I guess also to like list off what I am reading. So here we go. I'm currently reading Age of Ultron, All New X-Men, Cable and the X-Force, Daredevil, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man, Superior Spider-Man, Thunderbolts, Uncanny Avengers, Uncanny X-Force, Uncanny X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men. So that's 12 books, not counting Ultimate Comics Spider-Man and Ultimate Comics X-Men, because I like the Ultimate Comics universe because it has permadeath, so if you die, you're dead forever. And Miles Morales is like the Spider-Man over there. I haven't even had the chance to read issue 1 to see how he got his powers, but I'm enjoying it. It's weird because like that book versus like Superior Spider-Man, they're like so different. Superior Spider-Man is just so dark. It's like, wow. But I love what they are doing with the whole Otto Spider-Man like dynamic. Like Otto's there, Peter's just like along for the ride, has like no control of anything, and just man, it just is so good. Like it's so good. I love that book every time I read it. It's just like it's funny. And like the action is great because he throws down and he doesn't hold back. That's so great. It's like Spider-Man used to pull his punches, but he doesn't know more, and he just destroys people. It is fantastic. It's like wow, just because like you've never seen anything like this before. It's like, well, I haven't anyway. So it's like wow, that was crazy. Especially in, like I think it's issue 1. He like 1 or 2 when he just like wrecks the Scorpion, and like man. And like where his like chin is exposed and there's like blood all over the panel. I was like, that was crazy. And like the first issue when he's like about to kill that one dude at the Sinister Six, and then like Peter stops him, which is weird because like later on he totally kills someone, and like yeah, it's like okay, how come we couldn't stop him then? But then it's getting really good now because this has been going on for like however long, and then he's on the Avengers and like they're all at Avengers Tower. And then Captain America's all like, so yeah, Spider-Man's being like way more brutal than usual. Something's not right here. So yeah, like this is right issue I think 8 is the like next one to come out. Well, 7 if you don't count the Age of Ultron tie-in. So like the 7th issue is about to come out. And this has been going on for like a while. So it's like everybody has been like slowly but surely being like, what's up with Spider-Man? He's something seems off. He's not him. So it's like this is like great, like the slow burn of, you know, like how will people find out that it's not Peter in his body, or like how will he get back in, or can that be fixed, or whatever. But like that and the stuff along the way that's happened, he's been like, Mary Jane, no thanks, like I don't care anymore, like we're done. And then like trying to fix Aunt May's leg by like giving her a synthetic thing, but like he had to get a doctorate first, and now he's like, what? Parker never went to get his doctorate. That was just great. I love this book. It's so good, in like multiple ways. Just besides the art of like the web slinging Spider-Man and like all the action poses and like the action fight scenes, dialogue, just so good. I'm going out of order because I didn't even want to talk about Superior Spider-Man, but since I was out of the way, I guess I don't have to talk about that one. Wow, I'm sorry. I know I was talking about how many books I was reading, but like, yeah, I'm reading a lot, so to do all these projects I have, air quotes, I like want to do them, but it's like, so I'm gonna try to buckle down and get that done this week, and just like have them all done, and then like weekly I can just start rolling out every Wednesday my thoughts on like whatever issue of something I read, and like the short like snippets of like, you know, here's what I read, here's what I thought. Basically what I did last week with that comic book vlog talk thing, but have it be like I said last segment, like I'm not gonna have them all in one anymore, because I think that's a bad idea. Like thinking about it, it's like, yeah, I should just like not have that and like have it spaced out to where it's one book per video. But yeah. So Superior Spider-Man, I'm enjoying it. The last book, he took on the Jester and the whatever person. They're the people punking superhero. Well, they only punked Spider-Man, but that was which was really hilarious, I gotta say. And then yeah, I really enjoyed the whole dynamic of his tutor and like how he was like attracted to her intelligence, even though she was like a short person. That was pretty cool. And then like I also like how when Peter accesses Otto's memories, how he can like see why he is the way he is. Like in the Vulture issue, when he just like flips out, and like that was crazy. He like flips out and just like throws him into that Spider-Man searchlight, or not searchlight, but like the Spider-Man signal. It's kind of like the bat signal. It's pretty funny. And then like he weaponizes it like at the end of the episode. That's pretty crazy too. So it's like he flips out, almost kills the Vulture, and then like when like Peter is like in his memories, since they share the same brain now, which is crazy. Yeah, like accessing his memories, like see that flashback of like when he was a kid getting beat by his dad, and he's like kids should never be like put in that position or whatever. That's crazy. So it's like in this issue, when like she's being bullied by those two dudes, he like flashes back. Oh wait. Actually, yeah, he like you see in his memory of like how he was bullied in the past, and then like when the two pranksters like step on his spider eyes from his mask, he just loses it, flips out, proceeds to just destroy them, and that was crazy. It's like, man, Otto, dude. Also, I must say that massacre, like that 2-story arc, like that 2-book arc, that was crazy. Like, I didn't even know who that dude was. Like, I've been so out of the game. Like, I didn't even know who that dude was. And then like after I saw like what his thing was, where he just like randomly shoots people, I was like, holy crap, that's a very dark character for Spider-Man to have to deal with. And just like, yeah, there are people killed in 2 issues back to back, because that's what that dude does. He kills people. And it's like, wow, that's crazy. And then, oh, dude, the way that arc ends, that was super crazy. I was really surprised, I must say, of like the lack of reaction of like, holy crap, that totally happened from like all the like citizens of the city and stuff, where it just turned out they were all like, oh, he totally saved the day because he had to do that to save us. It was like really interesting, actually, like that whole chaotic good decision he had to make. Well, he didn't have to, but like since it was Otto and not Peter, like how he did that. But then like how it was not seen as something that was like savage or brutal, but like something done in order to like preserve safety and stuff of the citizens in the where that Union Station. So yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I'm really loving it. But moving on to the book I'm trying to talk about, because I'm trying to do this in order. Like, yeah, and I'm on Comixology, so it's going to be alphabetical. So, because it's already like arranged on this thing alphabetically. So, All New X-Men, number 9. Man, so good. So, Cyclops bumps into... Well, this is like the Danger Room. So this happens after Cyclops bumped into Mystique. That was crazy, by the way. That whole... Yeah. See, I like this one because they're in the Danger Room, and they're in Times Square, And I was like, oh, cool, they're in Times Square. But then, like, all the Sentinels attack, and I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right here. And so, like, you find out they're in the danger room. That's pretty cool. Oh, and Iceman, he has, like, the hilarious line of, what the F, man? Like, our danger room is like a few hoops and a red ball. What is this? This hurts. We just got the crap kicked out of us by these Sentinels. And then, yeah, that was great. And then I really enjoyed Kitty Pryde. She's like emerging as the like character to be like the head of the headmistress of like the whole school. She's like, yeah, like she's the only one that's like on point and like has everything together. Everybody else is just like has stuff going on or just cannot handle it. Whereas Kitty's like, man, okay, and like telling all the new X-Men, like, okay, so, or like she was talking to Jean and she's like, you shouldn't be reading people's minds, Jean. Like, seriously, chill out with that. It's not a toy. Don't be reading people's minds. Like, when they when they're not suspecting it. And then she's also like, some of the villains that you're going to go up against will know that you can do that and will have like defenses in place, so don't just go like poking around in people's minds or it'll backfire on you. So that was funny. And then like she's it's weird because like she's like, okay, whatever, like you think she's listening to what Kitty Pryde's saying, but then she's like reading Scott's mind and she's like, who's Mystique? And then Kitty just like, what? When did this happen? That was insane. And then I love how it ends, because it's like the ending of this one is basically the same as how Uncanny X-Men 3 ends. So next issue, there's totally going to be a crossover, and we're going to see like the events from this team's side, the Wolverine School versus Scott's side. So, and like I'm wondering like if anybody will like join Scott's side willingly. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I enjoyed All New X-Men number 9. That was great. Seeing like the original X-Men in action against Sentinels in Times Square in the Danger Room, very fun. Alright, I guess I was gonna go in order, but I'll go ahead and talk about Uncanny X-Men now, because it basically ends where the other book I just talked about ends, in the same spot. So basically, I was waiting for this throwdown for like 2 weeks or something. I was like, oh man, Avengers and the X-Men are gonna have at it, because it like issue 2 ended in like a crazy cliffhanger where it's like the Avengers are about to throw down like wreck shop on X-Men execution team. Because seriously, they have like nobody. It's like you have the Avengers versus like Emma Frost, Magneto, Cyclops, Magic, and like 2 new mutants. It's like, or a couple of new mutants. Like, what can they do? Like, come on. But then this is pretty cool, because like this issue we find out one of them can actually, you know, yeah, Omega level. So so issue 3, it's weird too, because like it didn't seem like they were just gonna like stop and talk, but this issue, like the beginning is just dialogue between like Scott and Emma versus like Captain America and the rest of the Avengers of like, thanks Tony Stark, thanks for splitting the Phoenix into 5 pieces and like getting me possessed by it, thanks. And then like Hawkeye's all like, screw this, we saw you kill him, Cyclops, we were all there when you were possessed by Dark Phoenix. We should just take you in now and like not even bother talking. So then that was like interesting how like the hot-headedness of Hawkeye totally just like forced Captain America's hand. He's like, you're gonna arrest Cyclops, and then Cyclops is like, yeah, right. Man, I love new Cyclops so much. Like I love just like his anti-hero-ness. It's just, he's good, but he's kind of bad, but he's not bad enough to be evil. So it's like, he's in that gray area of just like, so good. And then, like, there. See, I was thinking in my mind, like, was this a draw or was this a win? Because they didn't really do anything after the, I think it's Eva. Yeah, she like froze them in time with her mutant power. So she froze all the Avengers so they couldn't move. And so, like, they basically were able to get away free. But before they left, Cyclops was all like, he was all like, everybody that was, like, looking on with, like, smart cameras and tablets and stuff, he was all, like, giving all these, like, propaganda speeches of, like, mutants around the world. They're gonna try to or the Avengers will come and they will arrest you, or the Sentinels will come and they will hunt you, or the police will come and they will throw you in jail. But we well, accept you to our school and like all this other stuff is pretty cool. It's interesting because it's like I don't know. I just really like the way X-Men is going down right now, where it's like you have Wolverine and his school, where it's like the same old of like protect humans and like help betterment of like human mutant relations, and like you have Scott's school, where it's like it's not far enough into the crazy Magneto philosophy of like mutants will take control of everything, blah blah blah. It's more of like a just like crazy Cyclops land of okay, that didn't really work. Professor X's dream is dead, even though I named my school after him. But maybe we can still. I don't know. It seems like more of a like they're fighting oppression as opposed to like they're just fighting for the sake of fighting. So it's like they're not, and like Cyclops is all like I'm like the face of this. If I die, I'm gonna be martyr. So it's like I have nothing to lose. So I don't know. I just like it so much. I like the way it's going. But waiting between issues, man, killing me. Next book, Cable and X-Force. So Colossus turns himself in since he was possessed by the Phoenix Force and did some terrible things during Avengers vs. X-Men. And they also killed some people in like issue 4 or 5 or whatever of that. The one where they like try to stop the factory thing. So yeah, he's like, I'm turning myself in. I don't feel good about this. So he does that. And then it's like funny, actually, now that I think about it, because this issue, and I believe All New X-Men, the wow, I'm forgetting the name of that prison. But that prison that with all the wow, I feel bad now. I should know this, but I don't. I'm looking it up. I'm sorry. I have to get it right. I'm gonna be annoyed. So yeah, the Raft. So this issue and then All New X-Men, the new issue that I was talking about, they basically there were like 2 break-ins in like 2 of the comics I was reading on the Raft, which I thought was funny because it's supposed to be this maximum security prison for supervillains or whatever, and obviously with the way that went down, that's not the case. So X-Force comes in to bust him out. I think did he stay behind? I don't remember. And this is why I need to like do these weekly so I don't forget what happens, because yeah, unless it's like a really good issue, then I kind of forget. Which is why like I don't remember anything about the Thunderbolts. It's just because it's very meh. Well, it's not meh. It's just like very average. So it's like nothing super awesome every issue. Unlike Uncanny X-Men and Uncanny X-Force. And yeah. But yeah, Cable, or... Okay, just to keep it short, because I don't remember much else, is that I think they break out Colossus. I don't know. They're able to infiltrate the base. And then when they're leaving, Cyclops shows up, which was crazy. So it's like he's not only in like the other 2 X-Men books, but he's here. And since Cable is, or not Cable, but Cyclops is Cable's dad, which is really weird since he's from the future, but he's older than Cyclops, but whatever. So he shows up, and he's like, so, I need to have a talk with you, son. So now I'm wondering, okay, obviously he's gonna like have some crazy like spiel about, oh, join me in my fight against, or join me in my crazy resistance school, blah blah blah. I'm pretty sure Cable's not gonna go along with it because he's got his like own things going on now to like stop these crazy visions. But that's gonna be a very interesting conversation, just because like, man, because it's like that the whole family tree is like you have Cyclops who's on the run from the Avengers, and at the same time trying to like snatch up all the New Mutants, and then you have Havoc who's like the head of the Uncanny Avengers. I forgot what they called them, like the Unity Division or something. And then Hope is off like doing her own thing. She's like trying to be normal, but at the same time trying to like keep tabs on Cable. So there's that. And yeah, it's just weirdness all the way around. Alright, and then we have Daredevil number 24. So in number 23, you learn at the very end of the issue that Daredevil's best friend gets diagnosed with cancer, which is kind of a downer. And then in this issue, I think also at the beginning of the last issue, they show like someone recreating the accident that gave Daredevil his powers. They're just like doing it on random people. And this issue, you find out it's like some. Well, you don't know who it is yet, but it's some like concealed figure who's like trying to like lure out Daredevil with these crazy machination plots of like, oh, I'll just close in around him and slowly blah 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 ruin his world, blah blah blah. And then like you have these like rabid dogs with his powers attack because they've been blinded with the radiation too, but they have like, since they're dogs, then they're like have like more aggressive or more faster reactions or something weird. I don't remember. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Daredevil's monthly, so I'll see what happens this month, and then I will have since there's like only 3 issues here for like the Marvel Now relaunch, I can totally do a Daredevil one and like not have to worry about talking about that in this again. Actually, I think that might happen. Like whenever I get around to like doing all these with the whole, this is what's happened so far every issue. Getting caught up on all of them, I can maybe like cut this out of China Token and then just like have those every week of like, okay, here's what happened in this comic. So until then. So yeah, lastly, oh wait, not lastly, this isn't lastly, but Iron Man. So he's out in space getting on trial for killing the Phoenix Force. So I'm interested to see like if the Phoenix is actually dead or if like they just think it's dead or what's up with that, because if Phoenix is actually gone, that'd be like a really big thing. So we'll see. If not, who knows? The other cool thing is like since like he just blasted off into space, so that does explain like why he is in space, and like I'm waiting to see like how he meets up with Guardians of the Galaxy. So like maybe they bust him out of prison or something, or I don't know what goes on, but we'll see. And then finally, this is the last thing to talk about. So well, I'm not gonna say I was always, but I wasn't really ever a big fan of the Avengers, so I don't know. But through the Comixology deal, there's like a ton of #1 issues for free. So Avengers was one of them, and I read it and it was actually really good, so I might start reading that. And then, yeah, that's basically it for this segment. And I'll come back after this with what I've been playing and stuff.